In a previous video, I talked about how after the success of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, that during its second season in 1994, there were other television shows influenced by Power Rangers that came out. One of those shows was, of course, VR Troopers, which, again, I covered in a previous video. But this time, I want to cover one of my favorite guilty pleasure films of all time, known as The Guyver. Now, keep in mind, this movie originally came out in 1991, but it wasn't until 1994 when I heard about it and I actually saw it. Because I remember seeing in an issue of TV Guide and HBO Cinemax Guides back in the day, and yes, I'm revealing my age as always. 1994 just said that. I saw, oh, The Guyver, starring Mark Hamill. And then when you see the movie poster, you see that Mark Hamill's in this movie. And you're thinking that he's the Guyver. Well, hate to burst anyone's bubble, but Mark Hamill is not even the main character in this movie. I'm like, how they gonna do Luke Skywalker like that? But anyways, I digress. Now, this movie is based on the manga and anime of the same name that came before it. Now, keep in mind with this as well. The manga and the anime is gory and ultra violent. This film is rated PG-13, and when I say it's very lighthearted, it is because look at it in the same vein as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Silly, goofy, not taking itself too seriously. But anyways, Mark Hamill plays as a CIA agent by the name of Max Reed, who is investigating some weird shit going on. Now, at the beginning of the movie, you have this doctor who's running away with this briefcase that has the aforementioned Guyver unit in it. And he's confronted by Lisker and his group of thugs who turn out to be these alien warriors called Zoonoids. Of course, they kill the good doctor. And then, of course, the news gets broken to his daughter Mizuki that, yeah, your dad was killed, and then there was some very crazy stuff he was caught up in. Meanwhile, her boyfriend, Sean Barker, who is the actual main character and ends up becoming the Guyver later on, albeit by becoming the Guyver when he's getting jumped by a group of thugs in the alleyway after he finds it, he becomes the Guyver, and now he's caught up dealing with the Zoonoids who all work for Kronos Corporation. And they're pretty much want to turn the whole world into Zoonoids, which are like I said, alien hybrid warriors. Now, as silly as this film is, oh, and by the way, before I forget, this film is also so silly that Jimmy J.J. Walker from Good Times is in this movie. You heard me correctly. Mr. Dynamite is in this movie. Now, back to what I was saying. The cool thing that I like about a movie like this, I mean, doesn't take itself seriously. It's guilty pleasure. Yes, it has been roasted in a bad movie roast by Double Toasted. But the things that I will give it props for is this. The practical effects. I am a huge fan of practical effects over CGI any day. You give me suit actors that can do a way better job than CGI computer generated characters can do any day of the week. The action sequences, again, inspired by Power Rangers. The dialogue, inspired by Power Rangers. This movie is not taking itself seriously at all. But when you have a film like this that doesn't take itself seriously, I have fun watching it. Some people may not like it, but damn it, I like it for what it is. I didn't expect too much from it. It's enjoyable. And again, the action sequences, the practical effects, the creature effects, again, is very awesome. And if you're a fan of stuff like this, I highly recommend it for you. Now, keep in mind, like I said earlier, this film is very lighthearted from its anime manga counterpart. But I like its sequel, Guyver 2 Dark Hero, which I'm going to cover in my next video. That one right there is more of a faithful adaptation of the manga and anime in itself. But as with this film, Like it, love it, or hate it, I enjoy it regardless. May not be everybody's cup of tea, but it is what it is. Just my thoughts, just my opinion, and as always, just saying.